let's see. Yes, the mic is in the right level for me. Thank you. Good afternoon, dear Ottawa colleagues and friends. Bonjour, bienvenue tout le monde. That's my French, and I'm so happy to see all of you. Welcome, everyone, and thank you, of course, all of you that are joining us here at the Ericsson Ottawa Research and Development Center for an exciting announcement today. So my name is Jeanette Irekvist. I am the president of Ericsson here in Canada. I hope that everyone has had a chance to settle in and maybe had a time for a coffee or something and are ready to go. We are very proud of our innovation and going on here at this site. And this is making impact not only in Canada but around the world. Ericsson's Ottawa site is our largest R&D hub in North America. And it's playing a pivotal role in our global product development with end-to-end capabilities. And our teams here are driving cutting-edge solutions that are used globally. And up the road in Montreal, we have also doing incredible R&D since 1986. But with further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome our esteemed guests. Of course, the Honorable François-Philippe Champagne, Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry. Welcome.
Thank you.
Our President of Ericsson and CEO, Börje Ekholm. The Honorable Jenna Sudds, our Minister of Families, Children and Social Development. The Mayor of Ottawa, Mark Sutcliffe, welcome. We have our Ericsson President for North America, Yossi Cohen. And last but not least, our Swedish Ambassador, Signe Burgstaller, welcome. And obviously, thank you all for being here to our guests. And before I move on, I'd like to take a moment before we get started to acknowledge that we are gathered here on the unceded Anishinaabe-Algonquin territory. The peoples of the Anishinaabe-Algonquin Nation have lived on this territory for millennia. Their culture and presence have nurtured and continue to nurture this land. Ericsson honors the peoples and the land of Anishinaabe-Algonquin Nation. But we also honor all First Nations, Inuit and Métis people and their valuable past and present contributions to this land. So, I am so heartened to be back here 18 months after our initial Strategic Innovation Fund announcement last year, to celebrate yet another milestone for Ericsson and for research and development in Canada. It is wonderful to see everyone here, of course, today, including many of our academic, business, and government partners, to mark a very important day for Ericsson, for research and development in Canada, and for the cities of both Ottawa and Montreal. From our collaborations with this country's world-class academic institutions to incredible work of our Ericsson R&D sites here in Ottawa and in Montreal, and with our partnerships with the Government of Canada, this collective effort has been essential in driving our success. And thank you as well to our Swedish friends for joining us today, including the Ambassador. It's not just cold weathers and the stunning natural beauty that Canada and Sweden share. It's also so that both nations are global leaders in sustainability, in technological innovation, and a strong commitment to creating a better future through research and collaborations. And that is just what we will hear more about today. From patent development to talent development, it has been an incredible year for our R&D partnerships. And the expansion of our research and partnerships with Concordia, the launch of a 5G drone lab within the Ericsson Carlton Mobile Wireless Lab are a testament to what we can achieve together. The products of our university partnerships continue to break new ground and advance Canada's position as a leader in the global innovation economy. More than anything else, Ericsson is investing in Canadians. Through our partnerships, more students and telecom professionals have been able to access state-of-the-art facilities, research experience, and employment opportunities. So we're proud to support technology talent in Canada, obviously, and the Canadian tech industry as a whole. Through continued R&D efforts here in Canada, we are living up to our commitment to raising Canada's profile as a global technology leader in the world. Thanks to the continued collaboration of our valued partners, we find ourselves to celebrate more and more each year. And so, after the continued success of Ericsson's contributions to the SIF program, we're proud today to announce an expansion of our commitments and the next phase of our collaboration. So now, it is my honor to introduce someone who has been pivotal in making this historic private and public sector partnership happen and possible. So the Honorable François-Philippe Champagne, Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry, please all help me welcoming Minister Champagne.
You're the one who made the difference. You're the one who made it happen. I thought you were talking about you when you said you made it happen. You're the one who made it happen. Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? Good. There's a bit of energy in the room, huh? Boy, that's what we need. This is a great day. This is like historic, I would say. And I'm delighted, obviously. Thank you, Janet. Merci, Janet, for your kind words. I mean, I was saying that to Börje. I wish you would have taken less than 18 months, but I want to see you more often than that. But clearly, we are where we are today, but it's a great moment. Alors, bonjour tout le monde. Une grande journée avec nos amis d'Ericsson qui sont là aujourd'hui. I don't know about you folks, but when I hear the word Ericsson, when I hear the word AI, when I hear the word quantum, when I hear 5G, and imagine 6G now, I know we're onto something big, something historic, and something that will be transformational. But before I get going, and trust me, there's a lot of excitement today. Let me just thank a number of colleagues which are making. It's a special day, and we have special guests. So let me start with my colleague Mona Fortier d'ici. Alors Mona, merci d'être là, qui est une collègue au Parlement. Marie-France Lalonde qui est avec nous aussi. Je sais qu'Yassir Navki aurait voulu. And I can tell you, you have many, many ambassadors. I know you have only one Swedish ambassador, but you have many ambassadors for the region, for Ottawa, and for what Canada has become, which is the envy of the world. Actually, I'm bragging, Mayor, about you all the time in Canada. So, and I'm going to Palo Alto next week, and trust me, I'll keep bragging about what you do. But, you know, you have amazing people here who are really bringing the voice of the region and the tech center. And merci Marie-France, merci Mona, vraiment. C'est des alliés de première de taille dans un développement comme celui-là qu'on fait aujourd'hui. So I'm delighted that we can do that together. You've been instrumental. To my colleague Jenna Sudds, Jenna, thank you very much. You're a true champion. Börje, I have to tell you something. You know, when Jenna is onto something, you better say yes. You know, that's the advice I can give you from Canada. She's been on my back, making sure that this would be working, that we would be doing something transformational and something outstanding. And so I just want to say thank you. You're an outstanding ambassador, Jenna, I must say, for the region and also for the whole business community. You're well served, Mayor, by the way. You don't know, but you have ambassadors also in your city that are promoting what Ottawa is and Ottawa, and bring Ottawa to really the full potential. And we're seeing that in action today. So thank you, Jenna, for being an outstanding colleague, making sure that we deliver. Mayor, I don't know about you, but if you want to see what a $500 million smile look like, just look at the mayor, by the way. This is what $500 million does to a mayor. Look at his face today. You don't get that every other day, Mayor, but what can I say? Today is a great day for you because we were talking with Börje. Actually, this is the largest R&D center, you said it, in North America. And believe it, this is before the announcement. So you should be feeling very, very exceptional today because this was already the center of excellence for North America. And now with more than $500 million, we're going to reach, the stars, I would like to say, because this is quite amazing what we're going to be doing. And proud that Ottawa is a magnet for talent and investment. And that is really the essence of what we're doing today. So it's a great, great thing, Mayor, that we could be. To Yossi and Janet, nothing would have happened without you. And Janet, I just want to say, you have been relentless. I remember, Börje, don't be jealous, but Janet was texting me more often than you even to say, Minister, are we, where are we? What are we doing next? How can we keep the program? How are we going to be doing? We need to make it happen. People are waiting. And I just want to say thank you. I'll probably give you a big round of applause because you've been... Your dedication, passion, to make things happen is extraordinary. To my friend Börje, who I know you came from Sweden, so we really timed that, but I know you came here for that. I just want to say thank you for your vision. Thank you for your determination and your personal involvement. I am fully aware that when you're trying to bring an investment of that magnitude, you need the support of the true leader, the top leader of the organization. And you have the privilege of serving a company which is 140 years old. And I just want to say to colleagues in the room, just think about how many companies survive more than a century. And you'll see there's very few companies in the world that have survived a century. And that needs leadership, that needs innovation, that needs dedication, and it's exactly what you embody, Börje. So I just want to say on behalf of all of us in Canada, thank you for trusting us, thank you for trusting us and trusting the Canadian talent to continue in what you've achieved for more than a century. So I want to give you a big round of applause because few people have achieved what you have achieved. And so we should all be very, very proud. And to the ambassador, Madame l'ambassadrice, c'est toujours un plaisir d'être avec vous. Every time I'm with you, it's for good news. So I don't know, we should coordinate our agenda more often. It's always good things are happening when we're together. But the thing that you're doing, I think you're presiding over the golden age of the relationship between Canada and Sweden. And it's really thanks to you and your colleagues at the embassy and our ambassador in Stockholm for the good work. It's quite extraordinary what we're announcing. And you said it, Janet, it's based on values. We share the same values. When I was foreign minister, we were doing a lot with our friends in Sweden. So the values, the vision, the commitment also to improving the state of the world is something that we share deeply with Sweden. But and believe me, I've not even started. So this is just the welcoming notes, believe me. But I just want to say to the employees, and Börje, I'm sure you would join me on that. I just want to say to everyone in the room here, it's really thanks to your talent, your expertise, and know-how that we are able to attract generational investments like that. So for me, I say on behalf of all of us in the government, and I think Börje and the whole management team of Ericsson join me to say congratulations to you, and big round of applause to the hundreds and thousands of employees of Ericsson, because, at the end of the day, you are Ericsson. You are the talent. You are what Ericsson is and can be in the future. So very, very pleased. It seems like it was yesterday, and I appreciate it was 18 months ago, but, that's what it says. It seems like it was yesterday that we were together with the Prime Minister when we were here and announcing a deal that would really cement Canada's place as the leader in this next generation networks. It seems really, honestly, we've done a journey together, but you don't achieve big things so quickly. You have to be thoughtful, you have to be visionary, and that's what we have been together, to really think about, the 5G, the network, what we're going to do, quantum AI. This is a huge transformation. And you may know, Börje, we just signed with our American friends, by the way, a 6G cooperation. So, colleagues, we're even looking beyond 5G now. We're thinking about 6G. So we have worked hard, but today I think we have the result and a very good outcome. Le Canada Ericsson, évidemment, vous le savez, on en parlait, une longue histoire commune. Hein? Vous savez, vous avez été ici chez nous depuis longtemps. On parle de plus 70 ans. Donc 70 ans d'histoire d'Ericsson au Canada. Ericsson a joué toujours un rôle essentiel dans l'écosystème canadien d'innovation. Et aujourd'hui, on passe à un pas supérieur. On passe, j'allais dire, à un partenariat stratégique, un partenariat qui va nous amener à faire de grandes choses ensemble. So under the strategic partnership that we're announcing today, ladies and gentlemen, we will see Ericsson investing more than $500 million right here, exactly more than $635 million for the development of its next generation 5G networks right here in Canada, right here in Ottawa, right here in Canada. I think we... It doesn't get better than that, trust me. And this investment will help Ericsson in we were talking about the cloud, we were talking AI, quantum, all the technologies that will be powering the economy of the future. And I'm proud that you're doing here and in Montreal as well. And you will really allow Canada to work alongside Ericsson to develop the standards, the international standards that we need. It's an investment that would ultimately establish Canada as one of Ericsson's leading global R&D hub in the world. In fact, we're already the largest in North America, but I think it's fair to say that this is going to become one of the largest for generations to come. This is an investment which over the next 5 years will see more than 2,000 jobs being maintained here and will create a number of 100 jobs. But more importantly, what we have been able to negotiate with our friends of Ericsson is that Ericsson will be investing, Mary, imagine, about $350 million per year in research and development here in Canada. So this is significant because this is not just about a one-time investment. This is about a commitment. This is about a strategic partnership. This is about Canada and Ericsson leading the way for the future in the technologies that will be key for the prosperity of our nation. So évidemment, des télécommunications sans fil rapide, fiables et efficaces, on le sait, sont essentielles à l'économie d'aujourd'hui. Quand on pense aux villes intelligentes, quand on pense aux voitures connectées, à la santé, what I'm saying is that basically 5G and the Internet of Things will be omnipresent in our lives. And the fact that we are going to do that here in Canada, that we're going to do that together, we're going to be leading the world in that is something extraordinary. And I'm very, very proud that you have chosen us, because I just want to say to everyone, when we started with Ericsson, and I know you'll say that I'm coming again to Börje and his commitment, but let's be clear. When we started our discussion, I think it was in Stockholm, you had a choice. You had a choice. You could have gone to another center, but you realized that we were the best place for you, that we had the stability, the predictability, and the talent to make sure that you would be successful, and that together we could lead in the economy of the 21st century. This is about vision. This is about competitiveness. This is about innovation and economic growth. But more importantly, it's about people, the people who are here in the room. So in closing, let me say again, thank you to everyone who has contributed to this outstanding success that we're celebrating. Let's seize the moment, let's be ambitious, and let's make sure that together we pave the way for the next generation of technology right here in Canada, in Ottawa, in Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And it's my distinct pleasure now to invite, I think I can say my friend now. We're in camera, but my daughter would say, you're my new BFF. So my best friend, Börje, the CEO of Ericsson, which made the trip from Stockholm to be here today. Sir, the floor is yours. We're happy to have you in Canada.
Well, good afternoon and bonjour à tous. I think I'm a bit in a difficult spot in the order of speaker here. Coming after Minister Champagne, I don't think that's the best spot to be in. Anyhow, it's great to welcome you to our R&D center here in Ottawa. And this is actually a core part. It's the biggest site here in North America, but it's a core part of our technology development. So I hope you get some time to talk to our people that's here in the audience today, because you will see they're world class. And that's what it's all about. It's actually having world class people. That's the only way to lead on technology. And that's why we're really happy to be here in Canada as well. I was in Toronto, maybe now it's like 2 weeks ago. It feels like I come to Canada every week for the moment. It doesn't generate as much tourist revenue, but at least, you know. But I wanted to talk at Toronto also about the commitment and the importance for our Canadian R&D for us as a company. And our commitment to Canada is actually strong, and it's long. We've been here 11 years longer than Tim Hortons. And now we're super exciting to close the deal. Yeah, it feels like yesterday. 18 months is yesterday, I guess. But it's really nice to be here to now kind of take the next step in our partnership. The first one is, of course, kind of an LOI. You know, you never know where that's going to go. But now we have brought it to a conclusion, and that's the key part. And I think that underscores our commitment and our, I don't know, we're very happy to be part of the R&D ecosystem here in Canada. And that is unique. You may not think about that when you live in Canada, but when you come outside, it's actually very, very unique. I'll come back a bit to touch upon that. I also think there is something going on between Sweden and Canada. You know, we have same values, we have the same priorities in many ways. I don't know why it's the case. Maybe it is simply that we share the Arctic Circle. You know, way up north you have to think differently, you behave a little bit differently, different priorities, and I think it's a very, very unique relationship between the countries that makes it easier, at least from my point of view, to kind of strike a deal like this, because we have something that's bigger in common. Then, of course, I know we have some hockey players that have made some impressions here in Ottawa as well. So one of my first visits here, I actually got a jersey with Daniel Alfredsson on the back. So I was very happy about that. Still have it hanging in my on the stairways in our summer house. So it kind of is very prominent. But we not only think about hockey, we actually think about, we collaborate with a large number of universities. We have Carleton University that's actually leading for us, leading interaction. And I think that bond transcends a lot of issues, right? You can actually solve most problems when you think about issues in the same way. So coming back to Canada, why do we invest here? And yes, we had the choice, but the choice was actually very easy, because it's back to the talent, it's back to the people. And when you combine the quality of talent here with an entrepreneurial spirit that we have here, and by the way, it's not only entrepreneurial spirit and I never thought I would say this, but it's not spirit in a company that's entrepreneurial. It's an entrepreneurial government as well. I actually thought that was an oxymoron. But I think you've proven that, you know, you can be entrepreneurial as a government. And to me, that actually makes a difference. Now it happened to take 18 months. Maybe I was asleep at the switch and didn't SMS often enough. But at least, you know, I think here, that way of approaching companies and the way of interacting with companies actually makes it a relatively easy decision. We talk a lot about different technologies, whether it's quantum, AI. I think you have a Nobel laureate here in Canada, by the way, on the focus on AI. So I think that shows that you're truly world class. Of course, you know, as a Swede, we have a special appreciation for Nobel, of course. Anyhow, but it's really critical for driving what we think is the future, and the what we call differentiated connectivity. It's actually using the network in completely new ways, where we're going to leverage the capabilities of the network to drive next generation innovation. And that has a lot of the home here in Ottawa at our site here. So that's why I want to really encourage everyone that's here, talk to our people. I think I know you're going to get truly impressed. They're world class. And I must say, I love all of them. That's why it's great to be here in Ottawa. People, business is simple. We only need to think about two things, right? It's customers and it's people. It's our people. That's the only priorities we need. So when you put those two together and you say, okay, we look at the customers and we work with our people, I think you can be world class. I think that's why we have survived 140 years, or almost 150 now actually. So that's what we are committed to continue to do, and that's what we're going to continue to do here in Canada. We're going to build our presence here based on a vision of a future, but building it on, doing it together with customers, building on our people. That's going to be truly critical. But Minister Champagne, a big thank you for your personal commitment and engagement to driving this. Minister Sudds, it's great to also interact with you. It just happened not often enough. Next time, let's do it a bit faster. We can have that commitment. And I have really only one demand on the government of Canada. Continue to do what you do. Right? Be entrepreneurial, invest in talent, continue to get the best people into the country. When you do that, miracles can happen. So a big thank you for that. I'm also an optimist. Tomorrow is going to be better than yesterday. So I think technology is actually a force for good. That's what we're going to build the future on. We're going to build that on the world-leading technology that puts the network at the center of future digitalization. So with that, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. That's my French. But it's, je parle un petit peu français. Pas bien. I could even understand what you said, actually, Minister Champagne. So it's my pleasure now to welcome Minister Sudds. So, floor is yours.
Excellent. Merci beaucoup. Je suis ravie d'être ici aujourd'hui avec vous. It is really great to get to be here with all of you here at Ericsson today. It always feels like I'm coming home when I get to come for such great news in our local business community. A huge thank you, of course, to my incredible colleague, Minister Champagne, often referred to, at least in my world, as an Energizer Bunny, as you could probably attest. He's pretty tenacious and just such an incredible asset to our government and, frankly, to our community. So my sincere thanks. And a huge thank you. In Ottawa, we have some incredible members of Parliament that are really a joy to work with, advocating for the best interests of our incredible city. So both Mona Fortier, who's the Member of Parliament for Ottawa-Vanier, and Marie-France Lalonde, Member of Parliament representing Orleans. Just incredible colleagues. And really grateful to have them here and continuing to champion the incredible businesses and people throughout our amazing city. So as well, some welcomes, of course. It's great to have our mayor here with us today. The ambassador, really a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to Canada's largest technology park. I have to get that in there. But of course, it is just wonderful to be here with all of you. Many of you familiar faces in the crowd. I had the pleasure of advocating on behalf of our technology park and companies such as Ericsson for many years now in various capacities. I see Kelly Days here, who's serving as the executive director at the Canada North Business Association, an organization near and dear to my heart, as certainly how I started my journey here in the park. I see Sonia Shorey back there as well with Invest Ottawa doing incredible work on behalf of our business community. But we're really fortunate here in Canada. This technology park has such deep roots and such incredible talent. As Börje mentioned, just world class talent. That's what makes this park tick and these companies successful. And it's because of all of you that are here today, and who I'm sure there's others behind the scenes working hard, that we're able to see such incredible growth and success in companies like Ericsson here in Canada, and frankly, as well in Toronto and throughout. But of course, I'm proud of the roots that we have here in Canada and the history here in our technology park, whether that be through Newbridge or Mitel or many of the companies that really put us on the map as Silicon Valley North. So agreements like today, what we're here to celebrate, really, I think, demonstrate what many of us have known for many decades, frankly, that Canada is really a force when it comes to technology and the tech sector here in Canada, but frankly throughout the world. And companies recognize the talent that is available here, the ecosystem that we have developed here. And I'm really proud of the entrepreneurial spirit that we have just heard that our government has had. I'm proud to be part of a government that is making investments to ensure the continued success and growth of companies like Ericsson here in Ottawa. And I think that the future is really quite exciting. You know, the investment that we are celebrating today, both, as we've heard, over $600 million on behalf of Ericsson, a $79.1 million investment on behalf of the Canadian government through the Strategic Innovation Fund. You know, I think this demonstrates our commitment to supporting a pillar, frankly, of our technology community here in Ottawa that's going to help drive innovation into the future. Whether that's in AI and quantum, and as we've heard, delivering the differentiated connectivity of the future, it's happening right here, and it's happening because of all of you. So as we know, the people of this company are powering the future. And I'm excited to continue to witness your success. I'm excited to be part of a government who is supporting your success as we move forward and helping to ensure that Canada stays on the cutting edge, not only stays, but accelerates on the cutting edge of technology. So I think this is a day to celebrate. This is certainly an endeavor worth supporting. And as a government, I am really thrilled to be able to take this next step along with you here at Ericsson into the future and along on this journey. So thank you very much to everyone who has contributed to this success. And with that, it is my pleasure to invite and introduce my friend, Mayor Mark Sutcliffe, up to the podium.
Thank you, Jenna. Bonjour tout le monde. Je suis très heureux d'être ici avec vous aujourd'hui pour cette annonce très importante. And look, it's always great to be here with Minister Champagne. Thank you so much for overcoming your shyness and your fear of strangers. To be with us today. I know it's challenging for you. The minister was my guest at the mayor's breakfast a few months ago, and we had to start late because he had to shake the hand of every single person in the room before we could actually get him to sit down and answer my questions. So we're used to that. I'm sure he'll say hello to all of you on the way out. And Börje, it's great to have you back in Ottawa. Thank you so much for everything that Ericsson is doing and for the investment you're making, for choosing Ottawa. I think Ericsson is the second best thing to come from Sweden to Ottawa after Daniel Alfredsson. So we're very grateful for the investment. And it's always a pleasure to work with Minister Sudds, who's not just the Minister for Children and Families, but also the MP for this area. and a former city councillor and a great champion for the tech sector in Canada, having played a critical role in building the sector in her previous job with the Canada North Business Association. Et c'est toujours un plaisir d'être ici avec mes amis, les députés Monafortier et Marie-France Lalonde. Always great to see you, and thank you and your colleagues like Yossi Cohen and the other MPs for being such great champions for Ottawa to the federal government. We're very grateful for everything that you do. So this is a great day for Ottawa. We have a lot to celebrate. We're so proud of the tech sector here in Canada. So proud of being Canada's largest technology park and one of the largest in North America and around the world. So proud to be home to companies like Ericsson that have chosen to invest in our city and invest in the talent that we have here. The talent in Ottawa, the people of Ottawa, the technology workers are really one of our greatest assets as a community. So to see Ericsson acknowledging that and investing and being determined to grow in our city is really validating, and we're very, very proud of the tech sector in our city. We're grateful for the investment. There's nothing more important than economic growth in our city. Without economic growth, we can't address all of the other challenges we face as a community. So it's really important that our economy continues to grow, and this investment will be a big part of that. And we're excited to see, it's not just investment, but it's investment in growth areas, in the future of technology, in areas like AI that are just beginning. We're just beginning to see the impact of those areas, of those investments. And I can't wait to see what happens next. And I know Ericsson's going to be at the forefront of all of that growth. So for a global leader like Ericsson to choose Ottawa is really wonderful and remarkable, and we're extremely grateful. And we're so proud of the team here in Ottawa, the Ericsson employees who have been contributing to that success and growth. We believe that Ottawa truly is a wonderful place to live, wonderful place to work, to play, but in particular to invest. And that's what we're seeing here today with this announcement from Ericsson and from the Government of Canada. So thank you to everybody who is involved in this. Sometimes in my job, I spend a huge amount of time working on something that has, the tiniest little result and impact. And in this case, I've spent almost no time working on this, and it's going to have an extraordinary impact because all of you have done the hard work. So thank you for that. I'm extremely grateful, and it's going to have a huge impact on our community and our country. So we're very grateful to all the hard work that has gone into this. So thank you, merci beaucoup. Et maintenant, c'est un plaisir pour moi. C'est vraiment un plaisir. It's a pleasure to introduce Yossi Cohen, who is the president and CEO of Ericsson North America. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Mayor Sutcliffe. Thank you. Bonjour, good afternoon, everyone. It is really great to be here in Ottawa, and I'm really honored, and thank you very much for hosting us. I'm the president and CEO of Ericsson North America, and it's really a pleasure for me to represent more than 10,000 employees that we have in North America. I also represent the business that we do in North America, and the business we do in North America is probably one of the most important business we have in Ericsson. And our customers are the most demanding, and they want the best technology. And this site here in Canada, in Ottawa and Montreal, actually became one of our competitive advantage as we compete against our competition here in the United States, in Canada, and in the rest of the world. So you need to understand, you are part of our ecosystem, and our success is very much depends on your talent that you develop here. So it's a really, really important partnership for our future. I'm very excited to be back in Canada, a country that not only embraces innovation, but pushes the boundaries of what's possible in areas like 5G, AI, and quantum computing, and continue to play a crucial role in Ericsson's global strategy. Like I said, the impact and the stuff we develop here, and I'm going to be brief because I really want you guys to go into the labs here and see the stuff and meet our talent. I'm going to take you to one of the rooms that we have that really looks like something from outer space. Quite exciting. At Ericsson, We believe that research and development are the cornerstone of economic growth, innovation, and competitiveness. Not only here, but in the country, but across North America and around the world. I've been working in Ericsson for 24 years. I can tell you, we don't know how to sell something that is not the best. Technology has always been our top priority and continue to be. Today, partnership exemplify the collaborative spirit we need to drive the progress of technology. The government of Canada has played a big role in creating an environment where innovation thrives, as well as talent. In closing, I want to emphasize how proud I am to the work we're doing here, and the future of telecommunication is actually being made here. Very important. And Ericsson, we are fully committed to playing a leading role in driving innovation in Canada. Thank you, Minister Champagne. Thank you, the Government of Canada, to create this environment, and for all our partners. Together, we are building a future defined by innovation, technology leadership, and global impact. Thank you very much. And now, I would like to welcome Ambassador of Sweden.
Thank you. I'm very honored to take part in this important celebratory moment. Minister Champagne, Minister Sudds, Mayor Sutcliffe, members of Parliament, Börje, Yossi, Jeanette, and everyone attending. It's lovely to be here with all of you. As Sweden's ambassador to Canada, I couldn't be prouder. This is a big day for everyone involved, of course, but it's also a big day for Sweden-Canada relations. The announcement of this major, expanded and updated investment by the Government of Canada as part of the Strategic Innovation Fund program is a testament to Ericsson's position as a leading research and development company and its long-time contributions to the Canadian innovation landscape. Ericsson is a true flagship company for Sweden at home and abroad. As one of the world's leading information and communication technology companies, it has built a global reputation for driving innovation forward. And ever since Ericsson came to Canada, before Horton, in 1953, it has helped to bring connectivity to all Canadians. Today, Ericsson is providing 5G infrastructure products and services to several Canadian telecommunication companies. And here in Canada, as you know, Ericsson is running its largest R&D site in North America, employing thousands of highly skilled professionals, really world-class talent. Just 2 weeks ago, I was invited to take a tour of the lab facilities and to see some of the ongoing project work during the open house event. And I must say, I was very impressed by the advanced research and development activities happening right here and the vibrant, creative atmosphere. And I'm very excited about the enhanced R&D capabilities that the SIF funds will make possible here in Canada. Canada is a very important, like-minded country, a trusted friend and ally to Sweden. As you've heard, we are both countries that strive towards leading the green and digital transition, countries that have advanced technologies, a highly skilled labor force, and a sustainable natural resource base. And we share the same value base and international outlook. From the Swedish side, we appreciate our close strategic partnership across a range of economic sectors, including in the high-tech area, offering each other stability and predictability, something which has become increasingly important these days. Now we are experiencing a great momentum in our bilateral relations. It's the golden age, as Minister Champagne just said, involving both security and defense, as well as increasing bilateral trade relations and two-way investments. Many innovative Swedish companies have followed in the path of Ericsson and have discovered Canada and enjoy great success here in this country. And our government-to-government relations are also expanding. Last year, a Deputy Prime Minister participated in the Sweden-Canada Innovation Days in Montreal alongside Minister Champagne. And earlier this fall, our Foreign Minister participated in a Canada-Nordic strategic dialogue hosted in Iqaluit to discuss Arctic security, climate change, and sustainable economic development. Recent collaborations also include an MOU and partnership between the Canadian and Swedish space agencies signed just a month ago. And I'm hoping that these many past and ongoing activities, combining with today's announcement, will form a strong basis for future and further bilateral collaborations, including in the high-tech area, more specifically in the area of 6G and advanced wireless technologies research. And with these words, I would like to say a big grattis. This is Swedish for congratulations to Ericsson, to the Government of Canada, to the City of Ottawa, and to the local communities here in Ottawa and Montreal, and to all the employees who also are here today, who all will benefit from today's announcement. And I wish you, everyone involved, great success as you take the next steps towards the technology of the future. So again, grattis and enjoy today's celebration. Thank you.
So, we are getting to the end of this wonderful event. Once again, I would like to, of course, thank all of our speakers and all of our distinguished guests for joining us, such as also our MPs. Mona Fortier, MP Marie-France Lalonde, thank you, for taking the time for all of your busy schedules to be here with us. You know, we appreciate it very much so. And thank you all for highlighting the Ericsson commitment to Canada, how our R&D efforts here are going to continue shaping the future of a next generation communication and technology worldwide. My warmest thanks to the Government of Canada, ISED, and especially maybe Minister Champagne for not just answering my text, but actually working with the organization to make us get to this point, because it's been a long journey, but it's just starting. And I think this is the amazing thing, what we're seeing here today. So I would now like to invite the two best friends over here. I'm trying to get some attention from the BFFs in the front row. I'm sorry that's why I'm still talking. Minister Champagne and our CEO, Börje Ekholm, I would like to invite you for our ceremonial signing and for our distinguished guests here to come up. Yes. If he can come up as well, do this.
Do that as a family. You waited long enough that you can keep it back. So, should we look at them?
Yeah, right here for a picture, please.
Why don't we should look at
Right
them
ahead
first?
before you sign. Hold your hands right here. Yeah. Got that? Anyone else got it?
All right. All right, let's sign now and make sure that. There we go. The date. Since you waited, I'll put the date myself.
You put 18 months ago.
Exactly. Bravo. made it. Yeah, exactly. Hold on. You want to take the picture? We'll put that. You want to see the signature, right, Dan? Put the zoom on. Here we go. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Wow. You made it. Congratulations. Sure. I think you deserve it. I thought with the city of Ottawa. With the city of Ottawa. So you have the pen. I think we're doing the first. Thank you very much.
So I feel like order in the classroom, everyone. If you don't mind to return, including our distinguished guests, thank you so much. And now we will invite for a Q&A and the media. So please go ahead.
Practice on both side question period. Please say your name, your media. Will be one question and one follow-up.
We look alike.
Jessica Campbell, Global News. What are the national concerns that led you to order the closure of TikTok's Canadian offices?
So thank you for asking the question. As you would have seen and Canadian would have seen yesterday, the government of Canada ordered the closure of the operations of TikTok in Canada, namely the office they have in Vancouver and their office in Toronto. The reason for that was based on national security, and therefore, as you would appreciate, I am not at liberty under law to go in much more detail, but suffice to say that Canadians should feel reassured that we take national security very seriously, that we have ordered the closure of the operations. But for Canadians watching at home, that does not affect in any shape or form the application. So what we have ordered is the closure of the installation, not the application. So the application, obviously, Canadians should be mindful, should be engaging with whatever platform they choose with eyes wide open, and parents should do likewise. But that's what I can say at this point of time, because you appreciate when it comes to national security, I'm not at liberty to say much more.
And what was the rationale behind closing the offices as opposed to a full ban?
As opposed to?
A full ban of TikTok.
Well, listen, it's very different. As you know, under the Invest in Canada Act, my jurisdiction is with respect to a foreign investment in the country to conduct a national security review. That's what we did. And we came to the conclusion, with the help of our intelligence agency, that their activities would be contrary to the interest of Canada and would be detrimental to our national security. So that is what we did with respect to the order that we said yesterday. And again, that has nothing to do with the application, because Canadians download the application from servers that are not even in Canada. So people can still use the app, but I would say as a parent, as a citizen, people should do that with understanding all the risks that exist with any social media platform.
Ian Wood, CBC News. Minister, that just sounds a bit incoherent in the sense that you're
really?
Company can't
to whom?
Operate
to whom?
Well, we've been speaking with people who say that they have the app on their phone and using it, but they're curious as to why the government says we're going to ban the company but not the product that's on their phone. Do you find that?
Well, I'd like to know their name because I find that very... No, in a sense, you know, the order we issued is based on legislation. Under Canadian law, the jurisdiction that I have is with respect to foreign investment in Canada. That investment went to an analysis with our security agencies, and we came to the conclusion that the activities conducted at the offices of TikTok in Toronto and in Vancouver would be injurious to our national security. That, I think, is very distinct from the application itself, which people can download freely. However, as you would have seen in the statement, I'll come back to, but if you have seen in the statement, we have been very clear to Canadians, to parents, to anyone who wants to use social platform, that they should do so with eyes wide open, because there are a number of things that Canadians should be mindful of when they download these applications in their phone, and therefore we gave that guidance, I would say, to Canadians. But at the end of the day, it's for Canadians to make a choice if they want to use one platform or another.
And just to clarify, I'm talking about users of TikTok. They are expressing this concern.
Well, and listen, I appreciate that, but like I said, you have to make a distinction between the offices and the activities conducted in the offices by the employees of TikTok, which would be injurious to national security. That is different than if people decide to engage with a particular platform, to download it, or to post on that platform. You see, those are different things. That's why we say our order was with respect to the installation, not the application, which are very different. But as you said, Canadians should be engaging with that platform and any other social media platforms with eyes wide open, and that's the guidance we provided in our statement yesterday.
Sure. And my second question here, there was a June deadline to ban Huawei from the 5G network. Bill C-26 hasn't yet passed. Can you confirm whether or not there's still Huawei, or if there's any Huawei equipment being used in any of Canada's major telecom systems?
Well, that's a very good question. As you would recall, at the time we issued guidelines to the operators in Canada, telling them that they should divest and they should cease to use Huawei equipment and ZTE equipment in 5G networks, and we gave them also a certain delay when it comes to 4G networks in Canada. To the best of my knowledge, they have complied with the guidance we have provided, because as you know, those are long-term capital investments that are needed, and therefore the authority that we get under the law is to back up the guidance that we have provided. But to the best of my knowledge, the operators have listened to us, and they have acted in the best interest of their customers and also the interest of Canada.
So you are asking TikTok to wrap up its Canadian businesses, but have not banned the app. Can you not see how that is sending a potentially confusing message over whether TikTok is a national security threat?
Well, like I said, and I'm happy to go on another time, but there's a big distinction about the activities that are conducted by TikTok and its offices, by its employees, that would be injurious to national security, to people using an application on their phone. Those are very different things. My role and the authority that I have under law is to look at investments in Canada and to do that under a screen, for example, in this case of national security. When people decide to download anything on their phone, whether it's an app or anything else that comes from the cloud in a server somewhere in the world, I should say people should use the best judgment that they have in order to do that. When we issued the decision yesterday, we provided guidance and say, obviously, parents, Canadians, citizens should, download things on their phone with eyes wide open, understanding the risk and the benefit that come with that. But that is a decision for every user to make. So that's why our decision was was with respect to the installation and the activities conducted by these offices in Canada, as opposed to someone who may want to use the application on their phone.
So in saying that it's up to everyone to make their own choice about downloading the app, is that an indication to Canadians that there is no national security risk in everyday Canadians downloading and using the TikTok application?
Well, like I said, the scope of our analysis is with respect to the activities conducted by TikTok in their offices in Canada.
But is the app a threat?
And I would say the app is something different. By the way, when people download the app on their phone, it's something that they do from a server somewhere in the world. As you know, the jurisdiction we have and the analysis we did with respect to the activities. That being said, you would see in the statement, we said, obviously, Canadians should engage with any platform with eyes wide open, understanding the risks and benefit. But that's something that every parent, every citizen, every Canadian is for them to make, to make their analysis and decide whether or not. Obviously, they saw what the government of Canada did with respect to the activities of TikTok in Canada. But like I said, our jurisdiction and the authority that I have under the law is with respect to the installation, not the application, which is something different. But as you know, the United States and other jurisdictions have been looking at that, so that should come as no surprise that we are looking at that very seriously. And the comfort that Canadians should take is that when it comes to national security, there could be no compromise, and we'll always stand up for Canada and standing up to protect our national security.
Mr. David Greeley from The Logic.
Yes, I remember we saw each other yesterday.
I did see each other yesterday. I have a TikTok question, and then I have an Ericsson.
That's good. Okay. Well, Börje is there. He's very patient.
The TikTok question, though, is should Canadians take from what you're saying that employees at the Toronto and Vancouver offices have been engaged in some kind of espionage or sabotage in Canada?
Well, you probably know the answer to your question in a sense. Since it's a matter of national security, I'm not at liberty to go into much detail. As you know, the Invest in Canada Act does not allow the minister to provide much detail because these analyses are done with the professional in our security services. And this was done as a thorough analysis, and we came to the conclusion that their activities would be contrary to national security. And that's why we ordered that they cease their operations. But as you would appreciate, as much as I want, I'm not at liberty to go into much more than that. But Canadians should feel reassured that we've looked at that with the experts, our partners around the world, and came to a conclusion to protect their own safety and the national security interest of Canada.
The Ericsson question, which I'd actually like to put to Mr. Ekholm first.
I'm sure he's happy. You go.
But I want to hear from you as well, Minister, on it. It has been 18 months since we were last here for the agreement in principle, the memorandum of understanding. What have been the sticking points that have kept negotiations going for 18 months since then?
Well, first of all, I think it's actually a fairly big collaboration, so it typically takes some time. And there are many areas that needs to be worked out. So I think you should expect these things to actually take some time. And we kid about it, that it took 18 months and kind of pretend it should have gone faster. Maybe it could have. But the reality is you need to iron out all the details. And I think we got there in the end, right? And as a matter of fact, we started to invest anyway before, right? Because we're actually driven by the market at the end of the day. We have a couple of competitors that invest a lot, so we need to always make sure we're ahead of them. So yes, it took some time to figure this out, but it didn't stop the progress. So actually that has already started to be executed upon.
But still, what needed to be ironed out? You said a lot of things. That's normal.
I think I'm going to use your quote. It's national security. So
I can provide you some color as well. We did that together. Listen, when you strike a strategic partnership as broad and as deep as the one that we have with Ericsson, I mean, you're talking about a company which is investing, more than $500 million. So obviously you would expect that there's a number of commitments and expectations. On the other side, the Canadian people have backed that investment with about $79 million. So as you know, when we put taxpayer money at work to support investments, we want a number of commitments with respect to jobs, with respect to investments, with respect to their commitments and what they're going to do. And one of the key thing I think that we have achieved together, and I say this is a partnership, but this is not just like a one-time investments, because you could say, okay, Minister, $690 million is interesting, but if you add to that the undertaking and commitment based on the market and what they need of about $350 million per year of R&D to be done here, now you start seeing that this is very, very interesting, both for Ericsson, because for the reason Börje said, you need to respond to the market, but this is the type of things that you need to negotiate, and I would say you should not be too surprised that when you strike a strategic partnership, you need to talk about these things. But at the end of the day, we come there at a point which is, mutually beneficial. And the fact that now Canada and Ottawa will be at the center of the future when it comes to 5G networks, the Internet of Things will happen here. We will be the capital of the Internet of Things. That's a pretty big achievement. So a couple of months, I'm sure people 10 years from now will have forgiven us for that because we're building for the future generations.
But I think it's also fair to say, when you do these things, we need to, we run a global R&D organization as well. So it's a lot about trade-offs. Where do you put things? So I would say when it took 18 months, it's probably as much on our side because we need to align it with all other plans that goes on. Because again, we need to beat other competitors, right? So we are trying to do that in the best possible way. Does that mean it should have taken this long? Maybe not, right? But I think it's important also to be aligned on our plans because then we can make the commitment and stand behind. And I think it's equally important for you to protect the interests for Canada. So when we have that situation, it just takes some time. And in the greater scheme of things, if you're going to collaborate we've been here 70 years, right? If you're going to be here another 70, if it's 18 months or if it would have been 14, doesn't really matter.
One last thing, Minister, would you have TikTok on your personal phone?
No, I do not, and I would not.
Can you spell out why?
Well, because I use a government phone, and it's not. There's a directive not to have TikTok on it, so that's already a good reason. But I would say no, I would not be using that application. Yeah, and as you know, it took 18 months because we're both pretty tough negotiator. That's the reason why it took a bit of time. That's good. Thank you, everyone. Merci tout le monde.